live videos, and as I did say, I was going to be doing my preview sometime this week, or of course at the weekend, as I currently said. So this is my Chelsea versus Manchester United preview for the FA Cup fifth round game on Monday night, 7:30 kickoff. As I currently said, and we know it's going to be a huge game for Manchester United, as we all currently know. And obviously we hope to get back to winning ways after losing to the Champions League, on Tuesday night against Paris Saint-Germain, as I currently said. From a Chelsea point of view, obviously they got back to winning ways yesterday in the Europa League against Malmo, winning by 2-1 away from home. So we did see Chelsea get back to winning ways, as I currently said. Obviously Chelsea, they're currently the FA Cup holders. They got to the FA Cup final last season and won it. It was an Eden Hazard goal, that currently beat last season the final. Also, they did get to the final the year before as well. Did Chelsea? Currently Arsenal knocked them out. Obviously Chelsea have obviously got to focus on them as well, because they've got Manchester City coming up in the Carabao Cup final as well. Because recently Chelsea have been in really bad form, to be quite honest, especially away from home in the Premier League. Suffering 6-0 defeat Manchester City. Recently suffering a 4-0 defeat to Bournemouth as well. And against the big teams away from home this season, Chelsea haven't been that good. To be quite honest with you. But at home, Chelsea are quite good at home. If I'm going to be quite honest with you, they got beat away at City 6-0. They got thrashed at Bournemouth, 4-0. They've lost at the Emirates this season in the league. They've lost at Tottenham. As I currently said, away in the league this season as well. They did beat Tottenham, to progress in the semi-final of the Carabao, to progress to the final, as I currently said. But Chelsea at home aren't too bad, but away from home, they've been pretty bad, to be quite honest. And obviously, they've still got to come to Old Trafford in the league. I'm not too sure that they still have to go to Anfield, if I can remember rightly. But they did draw with Liverpool 1-1 Chelsea earlier on in the season, I think. We drew with them earlier on in the season at Stamford Bridge by it was 2-2. I think Manchester United, should have won that. I think we conceded, was it in the 96th minute of stoppage time, as I currently said. But it's going to be a big game, for Manchester United, as I currently said. A lot of people will favour Chelsea, going into this game, to be quite honest with you, because obviously Chelsea have obviously still got problems of their own. Obviously, there's players that are expected to leave Chelsea, of course, in the summer as well. Obviously, Gary Cahill will link to have a move away from Chelsea in January, because obviously he's not playing. He's Gary Cahill at the moment for Chelsea, so he's constantly, being dropped out of the squad by Maurizio Sarri. He's Gary Cahill. Also, too, they didn't find a replacement for Cesc Fabregas in the January transfer window, so Chelsea, from their perspective, will be hoping they can find a replacement, for Cesc Fabregas in the summer. Also, too, I think that Eden Hazard, could be leaving Chelsea as well. If I'm going to be quite honest with you, obviously David Luiz as well is an aging up player, and obviously he comes to an end of his contract in the summer as well. But in relation to Eden Hazard, as I currently said, he should now be in his form. Eden Hazard, now he's on his favourite position, back on the left hand side, because before Gonzalo Higuain came in, Eden Hazard was playing in an unfavoured role, in the false number 9 position. But Eden Hazard, there's been strong speculation of Eden Hazard, of course, joining Real Madrid in the summer. Reportedly, if Chelsea are willing to sell him, it will cost around £100 million, for Real Madrid to get him, because I think this is Chelsea's price tag. And as it did come out a week or two ago, that reportedly it had been revealed. It basically had been revealed that reportedly Eden Hazard had currently made a decision on his current Chelsea future. As he did say, I don't think he publicly announced it, but I think he's somewhere on the line expected to tell Chelsea that he does want to join Real Madrid in the summer. And Chelsea know how influential he's been, for their club. He's been a very good player. He's still the third best player in the Premier League, behind Salah and Kevin De Bruyne is Eden Hazard. But he can play as attacking mid. He can also play on the left hand side, which is obviously his favoured role. Eden Hazard, as I couldn't have said, but he's been at Chelsea 7 seasons now. Eden Hazard, he's made over 300 appearances, scored over 100 odd goals. His running's good. He's good at scoring goals. He's Eden Hazard as well. And Chelsea have tried to convince him to sign a new long-term deal, but in relation to negotiations, they haven't progressed, because his current deal does end in the summer of 2020. Chelsea have been trying to convince him to sign a new contract. I think Chelsea have willed to offer him around £300,000 a week. But of course, last summer Eden Hazard did actually admit after the World Cup that he did currently want to leave Chelsea, and he was praising Real Madrid, saying that he loved Real Madrid and all that. So he could more than likely go to Real Madrid in the summer, and then obviously Chelsea, I think he's too good for Chelsea in my opinion, and obviously then Chelsea will have to find a replacement for Eden Hazard. Obviously in the summer they're going to have to try and get a replacement for Cesc Fabregas as well at Chelsea. Also, in my opinion, Chelsea probably do need another fullback, and obviously if Gary Cahill leaves, if David Luiz doesn't sign a new contract, obviously they're going to need a central defender as well at Chelsea. In relation, to Callum Hudson-Odoi as well. Callum Hudson-Odoi, as I said, he was strongly linked to a move to Bayern Munich, throughout the January window. A lot of people still think, that got Callum Callum Hudson-Odoi could still make the move to Bayern Munich in the summer, because initially he did put a transfer request in throughout the January window. Bayern Munich were interested in Bayern Munich were interested because, as I did say, Bayern Munich are looking to get some young players in their team, because they have got quite a few aging up players at Bayern Munich. But as I did say, Bayern Munich was strongly linked with him. He put a transfer request in. He's been a Chelsea player since the age of 8 as Callum Hudson-Odoi, but due to the lack of game time he's been getting, since he's broke into the first team with Chelsea, obviously, that's why there was strong speculation of him leaving. Bayern Munich were held negotiations. As I said, Bayern Munich put a host of bids in. The recent one I think was put in was around 40 million. I think Chelsea did turn 3 bids down. Even Bayern Munich were willing to offer him the number 10 shirt, as well Callum Hudson-Odoi. But I don't think he started in the Premier League, from the start this season as Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's only 18 years of age. Of course, Chelsea have tried to, convince him to sign a new contract. He has turned this down, Callum Hudson-Odoi. And obviously Chelsea were standing firm, and they were being ruthless over Callum Hudson-Odoi. They weren't willing to let him leave, of course, in the January window. But I think Callum Hudson-Odoi has accepted that he's going to remain at Chelsea, obviously till the summer. Then he may make the move to Bayern Munich so Chelsea, could lose him as well. But in the January window, Chelsea obviously got Gonzalo Higuain, who I do think is a very, very good player. He's obviously age 31. Chelsea more than likely will develop the loan into a further 12 months, depending on if he meets key targets. They do have the option to actually make the deal permanent by paying around 30-odd million in the summer, as I couldn't have said. But he knows Sarri. Sarri knows him, because they've obviously worked together previously, before Higuain, made the move to Chelsea. But he's 31 years of age. I think he'll lead the lines. He'll score goals, as I said. Haven't been watching him recently, so I haven't seen his progression so far in a Chelsea shirt, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But throughout his playing career, Gonzalo Higuain, has been a very, very good player, as I currently said. But obviously, Chelsea, this season, want to get into the top 4. That's obviously their aim this season, to get that top 4, or if not getting in the top 4, is winning the Europa League. And reports have been coming out saying if Chelsea do not get Champions League football, for next season, they don't get in the top 4. But if they did win the Europa League, obviously they get automatic Champions League qualification. Sarri could be possibly sacked if Chelsea do not get the top 4 and don't get Champions League for next season. This was coming from Roman Abramovich. It's been coming out of the Times as well, reportedly. So if it does become mathematically impossible where Chelsea can't qualify for the Champions League, then Sarri could more than likely be sacked from Chelsea. And we know Chelsea are known for sacking managers in a short period of time, because they have done it in the past as well. They did it with Conte, even though he won the Premier League and FA Cup in his first season. They did it with Jose Mourinho. They did it with Scolari, Villas-Boas, Avram Grant. So they've sacked quite a lot of managers in a short period of time, as I couldn't have said. But Sarri, he would obviously negotiating quite a while back about mentality and motivation and all that. And he has got that attacking philosophy. And it's only his first season with Chelsea, of course. Obviously, he's got the summer, to get some recruitment into Chelsea Football Club as Sarri. But obviously, Sarri's system, his system worked when he was a Napoli manager, because I think he did very, very well at Napoli. Obviously, he's still looking to win his first major honour as manager, because he actually hasn't won all in terms of silverware. But he could do this at the weekend against Manchester City. But we know how much of a good team Manchester City are, as I currently said. But yeah, we know it's going to be a very, very difficult game, from my point of view, because as you all know now, I've been on these live streams a very, very long time, how much of a difficult game it's going to be for Manchester United, of course, because, so far under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we've looked really, really good, to be quite honest with you. Apart from the PSG game and the Champions League, we've looked very, very good, we've seen that fluidity in attack, we've been motivated, the confidence has been in the team, the structure of the team's been right, the cohesion of the team's been right, and Solskjaer's got us playing this brand of football, the brand of football, that we saw under Alex Ferguson, for 27 years, as I said. And as you can see, the front men are getting the freedom, of interchange closer together. You can see we're getting full-backs out of the pitch. You can see we're getting, defenders that are willing, to play out from the back. Good ball-playing midfielders in Herrera, Matic and Pogba. And I think, the likes of Rashford showing that ability to attack, score and create. So too Martial, so too Lingard and all that. But it was a poor performance on Tuesday night. But still, we did go 11 games unbeaten, before, obviously, Paris Saint-Germain beat us on Tuesday night. But as I did say, Solskjaer, I think, is the right man for the job at Manchester United, as I do keep saying. Because he knows everything about the club. He knows the club inside out, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because obviously he was a great, great player for 11 years. He was a legend. He was a great, great player for 11 years, won quite a lot of in his 11 years. Watched some of this team, grow and develop as well, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He watched some of this team grow and develop as well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when he was currently managing the reserve team. But I think he's rejuvenated, the team completely, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. We're all aware that we do need signings at Manchester United, of course, in the summer. We're all aware that we do need signings in the summer. obviously, because I do see about 3 or 4 experienced players leaving in the summer. So obviously we'll look to get 3 or 4 players to come in the summer as replacements. As reports have been coming out saying that Man United are reportedly going to get around £200 million spent in the summer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, is obviously going to have a big say in our transfer plans in the summer, because obviously now, as it's been revealed, he's the favoured now to get the job on a full-time basis. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as it did confirm, because it did say the other day, was it, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to be named Manchester United manager. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to be named will be named Manchester United manager on a full-time basis at the end of the season. I don't think it will be officially announced until the end of the season, but Solskjaer is now the favourites, as it does currently say in the media. Of course, Manchester United have to pay an additional fee of around probably £7-8 million, to get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in on the full-time basis. Obviously, at the moment, we've paid £1.8 million, to get him temporary, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said, but, based on his fantastic progression he's done so far since he's come in, probably the Manchester United board believe he can get us in that commanding position. He can elevate this team forward and get us back up there competing for silverware. But first, we need a couple of signings in that team if we are going to be potentially future title contenders. If we are going to be potentially, future title contenders, I do think we need some signings in the summer, as everyone is aware of as well. And obviously, we do need a strong central defender. Maybe we're maybe looking into getting maybe a couple of fullbacks as well. And we definitely need someone on that right hand side, because as I did say, the majority of our attack is coming from the left, as I said. But as I did update you yesterday, reports were coming out in relation to Ed Woodward, saying that reportedly he's identified four main summer targets. Reportedly, as I've already updated you, what names were mentioned. Douglas Costa were mentioned. Lucas Hernandez, Atletico Madrid fullback and central defender, were mentioned. Nikola Milkovic at Fiorentina youngster were mentioned. And obviously, of course, Koulibaly is the main number one priority target, as we all currently know. But it was very, very disappointing, against PSG, to be quite honest with you. As Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did admit, PSG are on another level. He still believes that we can, do a possible comeback, against Paris Saint-Germain. He still believes we can go over there and get at least 2 goals against Paris Saint-Germain. But we know Paris Saint-Germain have got a lot of good experienced players. They've got some good young players in there. And Tuesday night was a very, very poor performance from Manchester United. We didn't see that fluidity. We didn't see that fluidity. We lacked intensity in that game. We didn't see the motivation or the momentum. And as I did say, I've got really, really strong concerns going into this Chelsea game on Monday, this year. Obviously, Paul Pogba getting sent off as well was disappointing, because he's going to miss the second leg now. And obviously, Paul Pogba's been one of our influential players, one of our best, since Solskjaer's come in. He's been, his breaks box to box have been good. He's been playing the delicate passes through as Paul Pogba. He's been providing good service, since Solskjaer's come in. He's been Lippe. He's been, scoring and providing as Paul Pogba. So he's going to be a big miss, for the second leg against Paris Saint-Germain. I think that is on the 6th of March. So we are going to potentially, miss Paul Pogba. But there was a lot of fouls committed in that game on Tuesday. A lot of yellow cards, as I could have said. But first half was a very, very poor game. I thought the first 5 minutes, we did look ahead of steam. We did look okay in the first 5 minutes. But after that, we just totally collapsed. Struggled to break PSG down. Couldn't really absorb any pressure on Paris Saint-Germain. Didn't really create any chances either, I don't think their goalkeeper had one thing to do. But as I did, as soon as Jesse Lingard came off, I thought it was a poor game. As soon as Jesse Lingard came off, and as soon as Anthony Martial came off, I had them 2 youngsters, our wide players who've got pace, who can provide and who can score goals. Because I think Lingard's progression's been very, very good for Manchester United. I think Martial's been very, very good. He's been very, very influential on the left-hand side. So when you see them 2 have to come off, you see the bags of pace he's knocked out. And obviously, Juan Mata coming on as a replacement. I do like Juan Mata, but he's slow, and obviously he's 30 years of age now. And obviously, the likes of Lingard and Martial, obviously a lot younger in their generation. And obviously in relation, to Sanchez coming on as well. Sanchez, I don't rate Sanchez at all. There's been rumours going out in the media saying that he actually could make a return back to Arsenal, Alexis Sanchez, because he's failed to adapt himself as a Manchester United player. Let's be quite honest with you. He's failed to adapt himself as a Manchester United player, Alexis Sanchez. Obviously, he's on over £500,000 a week, don't forget as well. Obviously, he's endured a few injuries, since he's come to Manchester United. He's been here just over the year as Alexis Sanchez, as we all currently know. He's been here just over the year, but he's failed to fit into the team as Alexis Alexis Sanchez, as we all currently know. So I think if when he does get more opportunities, if his performances don't improve, he could actually leave Manchester United in the summer as well. Alexis Sanchez, but I've been a lot of United fans have been very very unimpressed with Sanchez as well. But in relation, going into this Manchester United-Chelsea game, I think that Martial has suffered some kind of groin injury. He suffered some kind of groin injury. Lingard suffered a hamstring injury. It did say a couple of days ago, as he updated you, they were going to be accessed in the next couple of days, as it did say. But reports coming out, I've read a bit of the team news going into the game, that reportedly that them two are a major doubt for the game. So it's looking likely Lukaku probably will come into contention. Sanchez, may get given a start as well. To be fair to Sanchez, though, in relation to his FA Cup stats, his FA Cup stats are very, very impressive because he said he's scored goals, he's provided. Alexis Sanchez has currently said, and I do think he's lost that yard of pace, Sanchez, and he's now 30 years of age. Is Alexis Sanchez, as we all currently know. Don't know, probably maybe Juan Mata may get given a start on that right hand side, to replace Lingard, unless he puts Rashford out wide instead of playing centrally. But I think Rashford, looks more effective centrally. If I'm going to be quite honest with you. But I think Chelsea have got a few minor injuries as well, but I think they should be in contention, to play in this game. It did say recently Gary Cahill suffered a minor injury, Danny Drinkwater suffered a minor injury, so too has Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's recently suffered a minor injury as well. I think the only long-term absence Chelsea have got is Marco Van Ginkel. He's a long-term absence for Chelsea as well. But as I did say, we've got a terrible, terrible record against Chelsea. We haven't beaten them in all competitions, at Stamford Bridge, since 2012. So we've got a really, really bad record against them at Stamford Bridge. We lost there last season 1-0. We lost there season before 4-0 under Jose Mourinho, as I said. We lost there in the FA. We lost to them in the FA Cup final last season. We did beat them at home last season by 2-1, but we've lost so many times, against Chelsea. We have played them numerous times in the FA Cup. They have knocked us out quite a few times as well. They did beat us in the 2007 FA Cup final. They beat us in the 2013 fifth round or quarter final as well. Well, the home game was 2-2. Chelsea came back and then it was like a replay, and Chelsea, won the replay by 1-0. I think that was about 6 years ago, as I currently said. But as Solskjaer did confirm, he was going to be rotating the squad when he came to Man United. He was going to be giving everybody the chance, as he did confirm. But yeah, there's still things, that need to be fixed out in our squad. And hopefully we can get back to winning ways, against Chelsea on Monday. Because obviously we're going for the top 4 this season. Hopefully, we can progress in the FA Cup as well. Because so far we've done very, very well in the FA Cup. Getting past Reading. It wasn't a great performance against Reading. But obviously he went with 11. That's not actually never played together as an 11. So he went with a lot of fringe players. Arsenal away in the Emirates, in the 4th round, was a very, very good performance for Manchester United. As I currently said, won by 3-1. Surprisingly, Sanchez got his name on the score sheet on that against his old team. Lukaku, provided 2 assists as well. So yeah, it was a very, very good performance against Arsenal at the Emirates in the 4th round, as I said. But the worrying thing is going into this game, we've got Jesse Lingard out injured, Martial injured. We've got other injury concerns. Obviously Rojo's out for injury, but I think he's recently just returned back to training. Valencia is obviously out long-term. He's got a long-term absence. He's got a long-term absence. He ain't a long-term absence, sorry. He's out for a couple of weeks, as that did confirm, Antonio Valencia. So too, Darmian, he's out for a couple of weeks with injury, as that did confirm. And I think them two, Darmian and Valencia, will likely leave Manchester United in the summer. Because in relation to Valencia, he can't even get into the team. He's had quite a few injury problems this season. Obviously, we know that Ashley Young is obviously our number 1 choice right back, as we all currently know. Ashley Young is our number 1 choice, because obviously he's been playing more regularly this season, Ashley Young. And obviously in relation to Valencia, he's been a long serving at Manchester United. He's been here since 2009. He's made over 300 appearances. Antonio Valencia, of course, he's won everything here as well as Antonio Valencia. And he's grown and developed over the years, very, very well. But I think he could be a player, that could leave Manchester United in the summer. Ashley Young still may leave in the summer, even though we've just recently, given him a 1-year extension on his contract. Because obviously he's 33, and so to Antonio Valencia, he's 33 years of age as well. But in relation to Ashley Young, he's been a good servant over the years. He's been here a good 7-8 years as Ashley Young, as I said. And over the years, he has been a very, very influential player for Manchester United, as I did say. But we have extended his current contract, by a further year, as that has confirmed, Ashley Young. In relation, to Darmian as well, I do think he's another player, that could leave Manchester United in the summer as well, Matteo Darmian, because there were strong speculations of Darmian, actually leaving throughout the course of the January window. A few teams were interested. I think Juventus and Inter Milan were interested in, but obviously he's enjoyed a difficult time, since he's come to United. He's hardly been in the team. He's struggled to get a run of games under his belt, Matteo Darmian. And obviously, if the offers do come in the summer, we can cash in for the player because we've activated a 1-year extension on his contract, so we can cash in for the player in the summer, Matteo Darmian. So it's likely he will probably leave Manchester United in the summer as well. So yeah, I do see, maybe a few players leaving. Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, could leave in the summer as well. Because in relation to Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, to be quite honest with you, Phil Jones, it can be good when he does get them run of games. Obviously, he's injury prone as well as Phil Jones. Obviously, we've just recently got him a 4-year deal with an option of a further year, Phil Jones. But a lot of United fans were disappointed with that, to be quite honest with you. In relation to Chris Smalling, he just recently recovered from injury, just recently. Chris Smalling, obviously, he's been here, 9 years. Chris Smalling, we signed him a new contract earlier this season as well. But, I think Lindelof and Eric Bailly will be more regularly now under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to be honest, because Phil Jones and Chris Smalling are nowhere near on the same level or calibre as Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly, because I think Victor Lindelof's playing very, very well for Manchester United, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. His progression this season is good. He's showing that determination that he can play out from the back, Victor Lindelof, so he's really, really improved this season. Him alongside Bailly, that is a fantastic, centre-back partnership, because they're building a relationship together. They're blending in well together as well, Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly. So I have been very, very impressed with them, but as I did say, we still need a strong central defender, alongside one of them, as I currently said. But I've been impressed with the majority of the team since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, to be quite honest with you. I've been impressed with the majority of the team. In relation, a lot of United fans maybe feel as though, Lukaku's finished at Manchester United as well. A lot of United fans do think this, because obviously he's too slow. You can't offer up front, what, Marcus Rashford can offer up front, Romelu Lukaku. And Romelu Lukaku's slow. His first touch does really, really concern me, does Romelu Lukaku, to be quite honest with you. And he's been a proven goal scorer, throughout his playing career. Romelu Lukaku has been a proven goal scorer, and he scored 27 goals in all competitions in his first season with United. But, as I did say, his form's been slightly rejuvenated since Solskjaer's come in. But, a lot of United fans may feel as though, his time's, up at Manchester United, and he actually could leave Manchester United in the summer. But Rashford's obviously first choice over him anywhere. And we know mainly Martial and Rashford and Lingard have been first choice over Matas, Sanchez and Lukaku, obviously. As I did currently say. So maybe will Lukaku, leave Manchester United this summer as well. But another player I've been impressed with, and that's been, Ander Herrera. I think his progression's been very, very good as a Manchester United player. Ander Herrera, his progression's been very, very good. And I think he's been a very, very consistent player, Ander Herrera, since we got him in 2014. I think his and I think, especially since Solskjaer's coming, I think his distribution's improved. I think his passing's improved. He's getting forward more. And he's fitting in that mix, alongside Matic. He's Ander Herrera, and hopefully somewhere along the line, we can agree him a new deal at Manchester United, because he deserves it, based on his fantastic performances, Ander Herrera. So I have, been really, really impressed with Herrera, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. So hopefully somewhere along the line, we can get him a new deal, Ander Herrera. Hopefully along the line, we can get Ander Herrera a new deal at Manchester United. I am hopeful, that we can get him a new deal. But yeah, we have looked into, some new additions, who we could get in the summer. And as I do keep updating you, there's a lot of names that have, there's been a lot of talking points, going out in the media. Because as the reports were coming out of the media yesterday, to give you an update on that, it did reportedly say that Ed Woodward has reportedly identified four main summer targets. And as I did say, what got mentioned, obviously, Koulibaly is obviously Manchester United's major number one target, as we all know, because Koulibaly would be a fantastic player in our defensive line. He'd definitely address our defensive deficiencies, and if we are to go for him this summer, we can make him the most expensive. We can make him We can make him the most expensive defender in world football in the summer. more than likely it will cost Manchester United around £90 million or just under, to get Koulibaly in the summer, because we have been linked to him in the past couple of windows, Koulibaly. Obviously, as Napoli confirmed in the January window, they weren't willing to do any business because in the process, Manchester United, of course, had put 3 bids in for Koulibaly. The recent one bid that got turned down, obviously, was a £95 million bid that had been turned down. It don't think they've got a contract with Napoli till 2023, but it definitely addressed our defensive deficiencies in him alongside Lindelof, or him alongside Bay. I think it'd look very, very good indeed. And Koulibaly'd stand out. And don't forget, we're in search for an experienced centre-back. Koulibaly is an experienced centre-back. He's been in Italy a number of years. He's 27 years of age. He's over 6 foot as well as Koulibaly. And obviously, we've got the financial power anywhere to meet his valuation, because we didn't invest in January. We're reportedly going to get £200 million to spend in the summer. So, yeah, I really, really love Koulibaly to come to Man United. And I think he's unhappy there anywhere. And I think he does intend to come to Manchester United in the summer. Napoli, of course, only paid £7 million, from Gent, for the Senegal international. So financially, they'll make a huge profit on the player. Will Napoli, even though they've had him quite a few, they've had him a number of years now. But he's a really, really good player. And he's grown and developed, fantastically well. But it would be really, really good if we could get him in. We know also too, in the media yesterday, as I did give you an update on that, Lucas Hernandez had also got mentioned, in that them 4 targets, that Ed Woodward identified, to get to Manchester United in the summer. Lucas Hernandez had also been mentioned. He's an Atletico Madrid player. He's only very, very young. He's only just recently turned at 23 years of age. This Lucas Hernandez plays for Atletico Madrid. He's an Atletico Madrid player, so he's versatile. This player can play as a left back. I think on the left-hand side we're okay, because Luke Shaw's progression's looking very, very good on that left back, because obviously Luke Shaw is our first choice left back. But and he can play as a central defender, can Lucas Hernandez. He's 23 years of age, as I said. He actually began his career with Atletico Madrid, did the play as well. Obviously being in the Atletico Madrid reserve team as well, but obviously now he's currently in the first team, is Lucas Hernandez. Reports have been coming out saying that he's uncertain about his future at Atletico Madrid. I don't really know much about him, to be quite honest with you, but I do know that since he's been at Atletico Madrid, he has won the Europa League with them, he has won the Super with them, and reportedly he's got a release clause, he reportedly said in the Sun, of around £70 million as Lucas Hernandez. So reportedly would maybe have to trigger his £70 million release clause, if Man United had to make a move for him in the summer as well. But Lucas Hernandez also got mentioned in the media. We know that Fiorentina youngster, as I said earlier on in the video, 21 years of age, Nikola Milkovic, also got mentioned as well. I think rated at odd £1 million. I think, was it last year sometime, his name got mentioned, that Manchester United had showed an interest in Nikola Milkovic as well. His name did get mentioned in the media. Also too, we know Douglas Costa's name got mentioned in the press as well, Douglas Costa. Douglas Costa's a very, very good player, and obviously since Ronaldo's arrival at Juventus last summer, this season, Douglas Costa, has found game time very, very difficult at Juventus this season. Obviously Juventus previously had him on a 1-year loan, of course, but obviously Juventus made the deal permanent last summer. So he's now permanently playing for Juventus. Juventus paid £36 million to him last summer, initially, of course, from Bayern Munich. But reports have been coming out saying he could be available for around 53 million in the summer. Douglas Costa, he's 28 years of age, so of course he's highly experienced as well. He's Brazilian, as we all know, he's Douglas Costa, but I think his main position is a winger. He's Douglas Costa, but his dribbling good, his crossing's good, he can put crosses into the box, can Douglas Costa as well. But there was a narrative going on about this last year, that Manchester United had showed an interest. It did say Man United reportedly put around the £54 million bid in. Reportedly this had been turned down by Juventus, but in the last week or so I've been hearing rumours that Man United could may go for him in the summer, because reportedly, he may be open to leaving Juventus in the summer, and maybe Juventus may be looking to cash in for Douglas Costa, because it reportedly said that he liked to Twitter posted Douglas Costa, linking him with a summer move to Old Trafford, Douglas Costa. But throughout his playing career, he's been a very, very good player. When he was young in his prime, he had 5 good years with Shakhtar Donetsk. Douglas Costa, he won trophies. He had a good couple of years with Bayern Munich, a couple of trophies there. Did Douglas Costa, and in his first season with Juventus he were very, very good. He won the domestic double in his first season, but this season he has enjoyed a very, very difficult season as Douglas Costa, because obviously he's behind in the Juventus squad, behind Cristiano Ronaldo, as I currently said. But his name also got mentioned in the 4 targets that Ed Woodward's identified, to bring into Manchester United possibly in the summer, as I said. And there's been quite a few other targets, Manchester United, of course, have been interesting. We know that young Tango Ndombele has been mentioned. It did reportedly say that Man United, have made contact with these players, with Tango Ndombele's representatives. He's French. He's only, 22 years of age, is this player. He currently plays for Lyon. He's permanently a Lyon player now, because initially Lyon got him on a 1-year loan. They paid £2 million. Then they did make the deal permanent by paying around £8 million to Lyon. I think in terms of wages, it was around 250,000 in bonuses. But he's tenacious, he's competitive. Is this player reportedly his performances for Lyon have been very, very good indeed. Tango Ndombele. So his name's been mentioned. It's also said that Man City have showed an interest in that Tango Ndombele as well. And also, that Felix has been mentioned in the media, quite a few times. It did say if Manchester United is a Benfica winger, just to give you an update on, he's only 19 years of age. It did say Manchester United, it would cost Manchester United around £100 million to get Felix in the summer, if we do currently go in for the player. Because obviously he's got a £105 million buyout clause as this Felix, as we all currently know. He's got a £105 million buyout clause as this Felix. Since he's broke into the Benfica first team, his performances have been good, and he only broke into the Benfica first team last year, did the player. He's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal, as I said, this Felix. But reportedly a few teams were interested in him last year, and Man United have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on the player. And the Man United scouts have been watching him on a regular basis, because reportedly his performances have been impressive. His main position is a winner, but I think he can play in other positions as well, can this Felix. But he's only 19 years of age, and it did say Liverpool expressed their interest in Felix, back in the January transfer window, as I currently said. So could maybe Man United go for him in the summer, but it would cost us around £100 million, to get him in as well. We know also too, Jadon Sancho is another player that has been mentioned in the media as well. And I do really, really like Jadon Sancho, to be honest. He's a really, really good player for Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, he's only 18 years of age. Of course, he's English as well. Is Jadon Sancho, as we all currently know. But he's a very, very good player, for Borussia Dortmund. Jadon Sancho, very, very young. It would cost Man United in the region of around probably at least around 90, £100 million, to convince, Borussia Dortmund, to do business, with Jadon Sancho in the summer. But his performances reported this season have been very, very good for Borussia Dortmund. Jadon Sancho's. Obviously, he's had experience of playing in the Premier League, before he had a couple of years with Manchester City. He actually career with Watford as well for numerous years, but at Manchester City he never got into the first team. Obviously he was playing in their youth academy, as we all know. Borussia Dortmund only paid £7-8 million for him, Jadon Sancho, and he's been in the Borussia Dortmund reserve team before as the player, and he's been at Borussia Dortmund a couple of years now. But since he's broken the first team, reportedly his performances have been good. He has obviously won the Bundesliga Player of the Month recently, based on his fantastic performances. He's done, Jadon Sancho. But do you think he complement Manchester United's team very, very well? He's 18 years of age. He can score goals. He can provide. He has got good physical attributes as well as this Jadon Sancho. Sorry about a cough. As this Jadon Sancho. But we have seen, Borussia Dortmund, do business, with some of their young players as well. They got rid of Pulisic. Obviously, he's obviously at Borussia Dortmund now, because he's been loaned back to Borussia Dortmund until the end of the season. And then officially he'll be a Chelsea player next season. Dortmund sold him for £58 million. Of course, they did sell Ousmane Dembele as well for around £106 million, to Barcelona as well. So Borussia Dortmund, have done business, with their young players in the past, as I currently said. But it won't come cheap, for Manchester United, to get Jadon Sancho, and it's not cheap, 90, £100 million, for a young player like that, because he's only 18 years of age. Don't forget, is Jadon Sancho. So will Man United, go for him in the summer, possibly? So anyway, that's your Chelsea Manchester United preview to update you on, and I've kept you up to date with everything else, that's currently going on in the media, as I currently said. If you do consider drop your likes on the video, and we do have to get back to winning ways against Chelsea on Monday, but we do know the ruling concern is that Lingard's it's likely that Lingard's going to be out because he's got a hamstring injury. It's likely Anthony Martial's going to be out. Anthony Martial is going to be out because he's got a groin injury. So that is very, very disappointing indeed. So it's going to be interesting to see who Ole Gunnar Solskjaer select. I was initially going to be doing my preview tomorrow or Sunday, but I thought I'd just do it now to be quite honest with you, get it out of the way, as I currently said. But we will be back. We will be back later on. with some more live videos, keep you up to date with what's going on with everything else as well. Chelsea did get back to winning ways against Malmo yesterday. Arsenal, of course, lost to Bates Borisov 1-0 in the Europa League game, as I said. But we'll talk maybe more about what's going on with Arsenal later on my channel. So, drop your comments, like, as I said. If you do, consider subscribing as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.